restaurant he gonna take you to? What's the last restaurant your daddy took you to? Because you shouldn't be coming to him to be your daddy. That's not his role. It's a first date. I want y'all to bring that down to level 3.
Dating is expensive.
For men.
For men, it's very expensive.
So we're going to admit to ourselves that fine dining is a scam.
Why aren't we talking about the fact that restaurants are all slow all over the country, especially right now in Southern California, are extremely slow?
The economy is what it is. I don't even know how people are going out. I mean, if I go out one weekend, I have to live like a monk the following weekend. So
just start charging them a fee to date us, like a 30-day trial. You pay like $1,000.
Cost of dating, especially for men.
This is a really good topic and something that I really think girls should be a lot more empathetic about when it comes to dating. Because listen, I think we can all agree, whether you're a male or a female, that dating right now, at least in this generation, is probably the most like stressful, toxic, whatever word for negative you want to say. Right now is probably the worst time. The reality is in the last 20 to 30 years, the average income for like the average man and woman has not dramatically changed with inflation, yet the rules for dating have also stayed the same. And I've heard horror stories on both sides. Like, I've heard women going on horrible first dates several times in a row and men going on horrible first dates. But I want you guys to picture, not only do you have to go on a date with a stranger where it can go terribly wrong, but imagine each time that costed $200, $300. Before I finally got like a really good job, I remember I never felt like I was capable of dating because in my brain, I was like, well, listen, if I want to get a quality girl, I'm going to have to go and take her on several dates. And then each date, you know, it's going to cost me $200, $300. I couldn't keep up with it. Like physically, I never felt like I could even attempt dating until I finally had a good job. While a girl, she can start dating pretty much whenever she feels like she's in the mood. If you go watch the original creator's video, she talked about the guy that she's referring to in her video spent about $2,500 total every month for the dates that he went on with this girl. And think of it, you're still in the talking stage. You still, have to go on more dates and you're still getting to know them. So this is going to add up incrementally every year. Like you're spending $5,000 within 2 months of just trying to get to know somebody and you don't even know if it's going to work out. This is why guys have this strong reaction when girls are like, oh, I'm not going on a coffee date with you. It just shows that you really don't think of anybody but yourself. This metaphorical girl who can't envision a guy going on a coffee date instead of going to a fancy restaurant. She can't picture, God forbid, she thinks of somebody besides herself. She takes it offensively like, oh, this guy thinks I'm only worth a coffee date. I'm worth a steak dinner. Like, no, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that he's probably gone on several, steak dates before, and then guess what happened? He didn't like the girl, and he wasted $300. Girl in the original video talks about it very clearly and says, listen, I can go and get money wherever. I want somebody who's willing to emotionally invest into me. That should be what's important. And you could do that on a park, at a coffee date, at a restaurant, wherever you choose to do it. If a girl's leading by trying to make you feel insecure, that you're basically saying like, hey, I think for the first couple times we hang out, we can do something simple. We could go watch a movie. We could go to a coffee date. And she's like, no, I have to go here. Probably I would just avoid, taking a girl like that on a date several times. But, listen. Any girls can be empathetic and think about all the horrible first dates that they've had. Imagine if each first date you had to put a $200 deposit to even go on that date. Tell me how many dates you'd want to go on. Probably not that many, but hey, what do you think?
At times, I almost find it comical. Like, y'all want to talk about how inflation and prices of living and cost of goods and everything is going up. Nobody's mentioning the cost of dating. This shit that my granddad and my pops even was able to pull, you can't pull it no more, family. I'm telling you, there's no reason. Like, a girl will tell you, right, she's dating around. Perfectly fine. When you're in your early 20s, you know what I'm saying? You dating people. Us, man, do you know how much that would cost me to date around? You have to have a mouthpiece. You have to have a mouthpiece in 2025 so that you can finagle your way in to date around on a budget. Because there's no way, unless you're really just having it, that you could just pop it and have several dates a week. You know what I'm saying? That's easily a $400, maybe $200 to $400 a week if you take out multiple girls every single week, bro. That's impossible. I don't even want those type of problems, gang. I got too much on my hands with one. You know what I'm saying? So let alone multiple. Like this inflation is insane, and it's affecting everybody in every way.
You know how you go get your hair done, but before you get your hair done, you have to put down a deposit.
Yes, that's called the down payment for services to be rendered.
And if you don't show up, you do not get that deposit back.
Yes, because they provide services that are actually costly and time-consuming.
So I done came up with an idea. We should start charging these men deposit to date us.
Rather sounds like someone's planning on rendering services in exchange for money. Doesn't sound like dating, does it?
Like we should start charging them a fee to date us, like a 30-day trial. You pay like $1,000. No, flat her. To date us.
$1,000 though. My goodness, inflation really has affected everything.
So, and if they don't do right by us within them 30 days, we keep the money. I'm just saying,
I'm saying that a lot of men would probably actually rather invest that $1,000 in something that is actually worth their time and might actually give them a chance of being happy.
This man alive. Bro, this dude is the smartest man alive, I swear to God. Because you came up with an amazing term called hoe-flation. Now, can you tell him?
Other people.
Okay, well, describe the thing before you do that. Describe why.
Hoe-flation is when the cost has increased so much and the value has decreased to so low in the dating
market.
Okay.
And he said back then it was easier for our grandfather to get a woman that's 100 times better for 50% less of what they spending now. And I kind of agree to that hoe, because y'all hoes getting real ungrateful. No cap. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So hoe-flation is a real thing.
Hoe-flation.
We on that. Hey, educate yourselves, is real.
Well, every guy knows about that, because that's exactly why men aren't dating. And I want ladies out there to be wise. Look at this video and go, okay, that's why. Because that's the argument. Like yesterday, I broke down them asking the question. And then the standards are high. And your standards are here in a harsh economy. Things are hard on the man. Let alone they're not giving increases or raises in these jobs, and inflation's happening. And not only that, men aren't the only ones going through it. See, what guys have to work out, right? If you're not going to go across these waters and find a girl that's for you, because I would suggest that. But a lot of guys can't do that. I would say get with a lady that understands what's happening in the economy. Why do I say that? Because they're saying the same things that we are saying. Check it out.
I've come to terms with the fact that at this point in my life, I cannot afford friends. I cannot afford brunch every single weekend. I cannot afford concerts every month. I cannot afford 10 birthdays in June. I cannot afford trips to God knows where. I cannot afford it. I can't even imagine being a bridesmaid or being in a wedding right now. That would set me back financially to a point of no return. And it's so funny because sometimes I see these large friend groups and part of me is like, wow, like that is so cool and that must be really nice. And then reality sets back in and makes me realize like you cannot afford that. And I've seen some people talk about this before, but not enough of how much of a luxury friendship is. It costs a lot of money to maintain and to create new friendships. And I'm in a place where I'm just surviving. The economy is what it is. I don't even know how people are going out. I mean, if I go out one weekend, I have to live like a monk the following weekend. So I really do need to pick my battles wisely these days. And having a lot of friends just is very expensive. And then on top of that, I'm expected to date.
Finding for 29 published a story. I can't afford my friends anymore.
Can we bring back chilling at people's house? Can we bring back chilling at people's house, like ordering a pizza, having some wine, or everyone bring some food and we just kick it and chill? Like, first and foremost, I'm Melissa, millennial wife, mom, and homie, and I just finished morning routine with my daughter. That's why I look how I look. But I completely understand that, you know, life changes, everyone has different budgets, all of this. But what happened to the basics, where it was like, hey, Saturday, girls' night, bring some wine, someone bring some dessert, and let's just kick it and chill and kiki. And I do understand also, because I'm one of those people, I don't necessarily always want to be in my house or be at someone else's house. I want to go do things and have different experiences. So I understand that part. But for the vast majority of the time, when did chilling at people's house just automatically like come off the table? And it goes back to this article or something that I saw someone talking about a TikTok about the third place. Like normally people used to have third places, but they're disappearing. So basically what that means is like your first place is your home, your second place would be like your work or school, and the third place was somewhere where people can chill, where you wouldn't have to spend money, i.e. kicking it at your house, having friends over, or you going to chill at friends' houses. So I get what people are saying, like, oh, I can't afford my friends if they always want to do, you know, extravagant things or have experiences. I can understand that. I'm not going to speak too much on it because it's not my situation. But one thing that I do miss is kicking it with my girls. We used to have like a regular girls' night. Like once a month we would rotate at people's houses and do exactly that. Like bring stuff and chill. So people saying that, oh, I can't afford my friend. I don't know how to.
So as you see here, there are a lot of ladies that want to get back to the basics because the economy is shot. But there are ones, like I'll tell you what happens. There's ladies out there that will rely on a man for everything, right? So the difference is they get to date, reject. You don't see the problem with the dating market. This is why men aren't dating. You ladies are too expensive. The price is too high. And I don't champion this, but it's better to go to a prostitute. Seriously. If a lady costs $100, that's better than taking someone out for a date. And that is so immoral, but that's what it's come to. That's how bad it's gotten. Seriously. Like, think about it. Which one makes more sense? Like the guy broke down. I have to spend $400 a week on going on dates. Even if the lady, how can I say it, doesn't want to go to somewhere expensive. She doesn't mind going to somewhere that costs $100 altogether. But still, if I have 2 or 3 dates, that's what, running me $200-$300? I gotta pay bills. That's how men are thinking. Even if a man earns a lot of money. See, what you ladies get confused, I want a man that makes $250,000. Say if a man makes that much, but he's taking you out, buying you Chanel bags, taking you on trips, money. So men are saying, no. I want to save.
Couldn't agree more.
Because I'll tell you this. Even people that are rich now, right? Because you ladies like to do this all the time. You bring up the Jeff Bezos. Oh, well, he got with a girl. That was, come on now. If that man was coming up and he was with her, she would have to stay down till he comes up. And that's what it is right now, right? And so guys are looking for ladies that will stay down and doesn't mind staying down because you don't need to impress everybody. And that's the problem nowadays. Everybody wants to impress.
Why aren't we talking about the fact that restaurants are all slow all over the country, especially right now in Southern California, are extremely slow? Like, and I'm not talking about those restaurants that are like mostly alcohol based. I'm talking about like restaurants. Everyone's like, oh, it's because it's holiday just happened. Nah, restaurants are getting slower. I think it has to do with the economy. Other day I went grocery shopping and for one meal it was like $70 for home for like 5 people. And then I went to go put gas yesterday to get to work, and gas was $6.20 a gallon. Like, I get it. I think that's one of the reasons restaurants are slow. Like, no one wants to come out. I mean, no one can afford to put, what, 2, 3, 4 gallons of gas at $6 a piece? Something needs to change, or restaurants are going to start failing and people are going to stop going out because inflation's killing everything.
I think a lot of people are actually struggling with a similar issue where they feel like they just can't keep up financially with their friends anymore. And if you've ever felt like this, you're not alone. This, I think, is a broader trend that reveals something really interesting about money and psychology. And so I want to talk about that. So this article talks about how inflation and economic pressure are forcing people to choose between social connections, hanging out with their friends, and financial stability. But what's sort of happening behind or below the surface for me is that I feel like we've created this culture where friendship has become commodified. You know, friendships are just hanging out doesn't necessarily have to be synonymous with spending money, but in a lot of cases it has. You know, take somewhere where I live, like New York City, you know, when you're hanging out with your friends, dinner out, drinks, concerts, you know, along the way, you're spending lots and lots of money just to spend time with your friends. And so through that, friendship has started to become more of a shared financial experience. And this can create, you know, financial anxiety. You know, you're not just worried about money, you're worried about what your financial money situation says about you as a friend, as a person. And that can lead to a shame spiral, right? Like, I can't afford this, so therefore I'm a bad friend, therefore I'm failing in life. But often your friends are probably feeling the exact same pressure, or a lot of them probably are. And I think a lot of people, you know, they want to fit in. They want to signal other people that they like can hang out with other people and they're all cool and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people are pretending that they can afford more than they actually can because no one wants to be the first to admit, like, okay, I can't afford this. And that's why I've really loved trends like loud budgeting, like talking more openly about things you're struggling with or financial goals you have, because bringing that communication more into the forefront can make you, one, more honest about your money, you know, build better bonds when you're kind of talking about your shared struggles, and also, you know, hopefully just make better financial decisions. And so I think if a lot of people are kind of struggling financially, which I think is potentially true, being more open about it can help, you know, you and your friends redefine what hanging out as a friend or connection can look like. You know, real friends would appreciate the honesty, and a lot of times they may be relieved to discover that someone said exactly what they were thinking. You know, your financial boundaries shouldn't just be limitations on friendships. They're potentially invitations to get more creative about connection and what that means.
System, you're looking at 1,000. I'm sorry. You got to be crazy.
We're going to admit to ourselves that fine dining is a scam, like a straight up scam. I come from a family of cooks, and I'm a cook. So when it comes to going out to eat, I don't do it often, but when I do, I'm very hypercritical of the food, in addition to the ambiance and what you're getting. But you know the cost of food and how much food costs when you go to these places. I'm in Miami for my cousin's birthday, and we went to this renowned restaurant that took a long time to get reservations at. We all go. The bill comes out to a double-digit number with 3 zeros after it. It was a high, very, very, very high bill. And the food did not match what we were paying for. The menu had tomatoes done 5 different ways. They had a Parmesan, which was a small tomato this size with a piece of eggplant on it, sprinkled with truffle infused Parmesan. And that was like $45 for a tomato this big. No exaggeration. What are we paying for? I believe it's a social experiment that for people who are rich or want to be perceived as wealthy or want to be in the mix do to feel better about themselves. It's like paying for designer when you don't need to pay for designer. It's a scam. Left that place, we went out for drinks, and 2 hours later, we were all hungry. Not even 2 hours later, we were all hungry. And what did we get? Pizza. And the pizza was better than that 4 or 5 course meal that I had. Fine dining is a scam. And New York, there are a dime a dozen. There's so many scam restaurants in New York. I went to Per Se one time, and I vowed to myself I would never go to anywhere Michelin star again. As someone who likes food and understands how much food costs and what good food costs to make, there's no reason one dish should be $100 and the portion's this big. Let's stop the madness.
Dating is expensive.
For men.
For men, it's very expensive. So it's like, if you're going on maybe 1 or 2 dates a week with different women and just really trying to evaluate if this is a partner that you could see yourself being with, that's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take a lot of money. So it's like, if you're not in the season where you're financially stable enough for where that makes sense. I don't think you should do that.
But don't you think that's where the intentionality should be coming in, though? Because you can date one person and not have to feel as though you have to blow a bag each time.
That is true, but
That's
you never
different.
really know if you're going to like someone.
Yeah. And like you said, you never know if you're really going to like someone. But these things have to become less expensive. It's too expensive for a man to take a lady out over and over, even different ladies, right? Because you ladies, you have men taking you out and for free. And you have to understand, men, they have to take you out and then they have to try to get someone else, because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, that man can't have dates lined up, right? Because he can't even get the interest. I got to cook for a minute. The man can't even get the interest. So you're paying for dinner for a lady, and then you don't know if she doesn't like you. Like, I saw a video of a guy dating a girl and he left, right? And instead of him saying, I stopped dating you because of this, he couldn't explain what the reason was. But I would have said this, exactly what I'm showing you in this video, right? That's the exact reason why men aren't dating. Wake up, ladies. Understand that winter is here. You think men aren't going through it too? Inflation, the housing market about to crash, and you ladies want to get taken on all of these dates? You see, the man said a man shouldn't be dating if he's broke. Right now it's broke season, right? Even if a man got it, it doesn't make sense. And I shouted this to the mountaintops in so many videos, because who did I mention? Ocho Cinco. And that man said, pay for $300 for a date? For who? And he's rich.
Little situation had went viral, like with the steak. They tried to come at me about
Wait, was it the $125 steak or something?
$135.
$135 steak.
But it's cheap. You know
But you know what's crazy about that? If you went somewhere else that wasn't your restaurant,
they would have paid it.
Ain't that crazy,
bro? Like,
hey man, we go into a business of our own, of people of color, and we want to knock the prices
can't
down.
afford to just say that, man. I got stuff on the menu that's affordable,
Right.
and they was, and they also was tripping. Oh, why is size $40, bro? This lobster mag. Where you wanna? How much you want it for?
Man,
like, what you trying to eat this for? You go to Miami, this $45.
Right.
I'm really cutting you a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cutting you get a sweet deal coming to cash.
But you know what it is? It's because it's yours.
Exactly.
It's because it's yours, man. Like,
who are you gonna walk in Louis? You're gonna walk in Prada. You're gonna walk in Balenciaga, and you ain't gonna ask them folks for no deal.
Yeah.
So why is you walking in Cache 42 talking about this steak is too high?
Right. Right.
This man is not understanding, right? Because he's a rapper. He got it all. The other guy's a radio show host. Got it all. Big boy's been getting money for years. Like, these people, bro, look at this. $135 steak ain't cheap. For a tomahawk steak, that's cheap. No, it's not, right? Because he probably shouldn't have tomahawk steak on the menu. I would want my menu to attract the people with a lower budget. Why? Because I want my people to come to my, that's just me. So, but that's not averagely cheap. Exactly. That steak is too high. It depends on where your restaurant at, when these jobs don't pay for that. Exactly. That's what's happening. These jobs aren't raising things. I saw in some places, minimum wage is $7.50. Like, when I show those girls videos, I really want to help. That's why I always say, hey, if you need help for $100, contact me. I can help you. It's not going to be things where it's going to be like kind of like you have your own business, but that's what it is now because these jobs ain't paying, right? It says that steak is too high. Depends on if I read that already. Lobster Mac at Capitol Grill is 20, not paying 40. Exactly. People are not paying those high prices. You already see ladies are saying it themselves. Hanging with my friends is too much. All around the board, people are tapping out. And that's the smart thing to do. I commend everybody. I commend this video right here because that's genius.
Restaurant he gonna take you to. What's the last restaurant your daddy took you to? Because you shouldn't be coming to him to be your daddy. That's not his role. It's a first date. I want y'all to bring that down to level 3. Y'all way on 10 with this foolishness and want to embarrass somebody. My second question is, have you ever been anywhere? Where do you take yourself? Let me see your checkbook registry. Let me log into your bank account and see what you feed yourself on a regular basis. Where do you take yourself for lunch or dinner? That's the next question I want you to answer. And then the third thing about this, come on back over here because I need you to understand what time it is. A real lady is going to be there for the purpose of what it's for. She's not looking for food because she's hungry that she can't afford so she can take it to go and get a doggy bag. I'm going to wrap this up to go. Why? You ain't going to have food tomorrow? That's a poverty mindset. So a first date, again, is to get to know the person, to hang out, have fun. Y'all should be laughing and talking. It don't need to be a steakhouse. We don't even know if you worth a steak. You might just be worth a piece of bread. So ladies, young ladies, grow up. Get some maturity about yourself.
She said it, I didn't. And you better listen close. Because the truth hurt. And she's speaking facts. Go ahead, mama. Talk your talk.
You know what's crazy is how expensive going out has gotten, and the fact that Gen Z is like, we're just not doing it anymore. We're not doing it because I would say, at least in the city that I'm in, it costs at least $100 to $150 if you want to have a night out with your friends. The average drink where I'm at is like $20 to $25 once you put tip in there. So if you're having 4 or 5 drinks, that's well over $100. And then God forbid you're calling an Uber. God forbid you're calling an Uber there and back. I don't know how you're going to financially recover from that. And it's just crazy because the other thing I'm seeing is the pre. I have never pre'd more in my life than these past few months, and that is including when I went to university 6-7 years ago. No one is going out these days unless we're preing at someone's house. It's literally just not happening. I'm not going out unless I'm going to my friend's place, having 99% of the night there, to be honest, and then sneaking out for 1 or 2 cheeky drinks at the end of the night. And you know what the sad part is too? Nowhere is busy. That's the crazy part. It's like you go to these places that are charging $20 to $25 a drink. Every single one of my like top 10 favorite bars, favorite clubs, favorite restaurants that I've gone to in the city that I'm in the past few months has not been nearly close to jam-packed. Not what I remembered it on like a Tuesday night 5 years ago. And it's just crazy because we keep seeing all these articles about Gen Z being the most sober generation. It has nothing to do with us being good people. I ask any of my friends, we're not going out because we're in relationships. We're not going out because we're getting older. We're just not going out because we don't want to spend $500 and take out a line of credit to go out.
How can we afford to go out and eat at this rate? I went to Joey's last weekend and I had dinner with my friend. I haven't seen her in a while and I don't go out to dinner that often. I ordered this tuna burger, which sounded divine. I was so excited to try it. I substituted a garden salad instead of fries because I wanted something a little bit lighter. Got the burger. It's a big burger. It was delicious. The salad was honestly so mid. I could have done without the salad, but I got my bill and I could not believe how much I had dropped for a burger and a salad. I spent $41 with tip on my burger with a salad. And I did not order a drink. I told my roommate and she's like, did you order a drink? I said, no. I got a tuna burger and a salad. And it's because the tuna burger was $29. And then to substitute a garden salad was $4 extra. And then I tipped her 20%, I think, because she was so nice and I really liked her and she was very genuine and down to earth. I think you should tip your servers. But at this rate, I'm not going to be able to afford to tip or be able to afford to go out to eat if I'm spending $40 for a simple burger and a salad. Like, that's actually insane. And it's not even a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is it's too expensive. And like the lady said for her son, I know he felt embarrassed, but like she said, ladies, you have to bring it down a notch. It's all about connection. Why do you think men are trying to take you bowling? And even that, nah, that's still cheap. But I don't know, some places may be a lot, but that's a little cheaper. And also, the guy will get to know you. It's not all about the cheap date. It's all about the experience. So if you're not about that, a man don't want to experience you. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See y'all next video.